Love is a seed. If you just plant it and abandon it without watering it, without weeding it, without taking the time to maintain it, without maintaining it with intentional actions, it will eventually die over time. If you're listening to me right now and you're thinking to yourself, but we love each other so much, that is beautiful. But ask yourself these simple questions. Do you people know how to fight fairly? Do you people know how to handle money together? Do you know how to meet each other's needs? Hi, beautiful people. My name is Nelly. I'm a coach, a relationship guide passionate about helping you love and grow without losing yourself. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the harsh, real, and uncomfortable truth that marriage has taught me. These are lessons that broke me, built me, and ultimately made me a far better woman than the girl who said I do 9 years ago. If you are married, engaged, or simply dreaming about getting married one day, then listen closely, because what I'm going to tell you in this video is something that no one will tell you. This is real stuff that nobody will prepare you for. But before we dive into the video properly, if you've not subscribed to this channel, now will be a good time for you to do so, and put on the bell notification so that you can get instantly notified whenever I upload a new video. So without wasting much time, let's get right into the video. The number one harsh lessons that marriage has taught me is that love is not enough. Love is never enough to sustain a marriage. Love cannot keep a marriage going for a long time. If you want to go into a long-term relationship with your partner, you need to stop focusing on love and start focusing on things that will sustain your union in the long run. When I was still single, when I was unmarried, I had the belief that if two people truly love each other, then there will not be any problem because every other thing will figure itself out. But when I got into marriage, I realized that I was totally wrong. I realized that the view I had of marriage was completely wrong. Marriage requires you to have certain skills. If you really want to make your marriage work, there are some skills that you need to acquire to sustain your marriage. Skills like communication skills, conflict resolution skills, emotional intelligence skills, amongst others. These things are what keeps a marriage. These skills are the things that sustains a marriage, not love. Love is also important in marriage, but what I'm saying is that love cannot sustain a marriage in the long run. If you and your partner wants to have a blissful and harmonious union, then you have to make the choice to work together daily to be able to achieve that you are looking for. You have to make the choice to work together even when it is hard. But even as beautiful as love is, it cannot lift that heavy burden of keeping your marriage together, of making your marriage strong. Love alone cannot maintain the peace in your marriage. It cannot do that all by itself. That is why you need to acquire certain skills to help your marriage thrive. Do you know that you can love someone and still break and hurt them if you do not have the right to love them well? Another lesson that marriage has taught me is that your ego has to die or your marriage will. You see that your shoulder that you are raising up, that's your ego that you have. It has to die. You have to humble yourself, or else marriage will definitely humble you. Before I got married, I used to think that I was right in everything. I used to think that I was the best in everything. I was never wrong. I used to think that my way was the best way. But when I got married, I realized how stubborn, how selfish, and how prideful I was. Marriage humbled me. It brought me down from my high horse. If you really want your marriage to grow, then you have to humble yourself. You must realize that you're no longer a single lady. You need to work on your ego if you're serious about making your marriage work, because now you are under the leadership of a man. And you cannot continue raising your shoulders and being overly proud. And that means saying I'm sorry even when it hurts your pride. That means saying I overreacted when you know you did. It means choosing peace over being right sometimes. Marriage is not about two perfect people coming together. It is about two imperfect people learning how to make each other better, how to become better for each other. And sometimes the only way you can get your marriage to succeed is for you to humble yourself. Sometimes the only way up is down. When you humble yourself for a man, he will worship you, because one of the things that men want most in marriage is respect. He will treat you like the queen that you are. Another lesson that marriage has taught me is that you will be triggered, and that is not your partner's fault. If you entered into marriage thinking that marriage is going to heal all your childhood traumas, all your childhood hurt and insecurity, then here is a breaking news for you. It will not. Instead of it to heal all your hurt and past experiences, it is going to expose it. It is going to bring it into limelight. All those your old fear of being abandoned, those your feeling of always wanting to control everyone around you, that your fear of being rejected that you are hiding, that you think no one knows about, marriage is going to expose it. The problem that many people have is that they blame their partners for something that has existed long inside of them. It has always been within them, but the fact is that they did not acknowledge it. They refuse to accept that that thing has always been there. So when they enter into marriage, they start blaming their partners for it. But you should know that your partner did not create any wound in you. He just exposed them. These things have been an underlying problem that you have. And it is totally unfair to see him as the enemy that created that thing for something that you need to work on within yourself. The fact that you refuse to acknowledge those wounds and those feelings before marriage does not mean that they are not there. You just decided not to accept them. So stop blaming an innocent person for the wounds that you yourself refuse to heal. The best thing that I ever did to save my marriage was that I sought counsel from the Holy Spirit and from my mentors. When I entered marriage, I had a lot of wounds. I had so many traumas, childhood traumas, the feelings of being rejected. Do you people know what it means to be left alone by your parents when you were just 3 years old? That wound ate deep inside my soul, and I entered into marriage with it. I saw that it was about destroying my home. I had to go to God in prayer. I asked the Holy Spirit to help me, to reveal that thing that is inside of me that has been eating me up, and to help me heal completely. And the Holy Spirit answered me. He healed me of my childhood trauma. I had to read books. I read a book titled Heal Your Inner Child. I read that book over and over again, and I applied the principles that was written inside that book. I listened to podcasts. I listened to mentors. I prayed to heal myself of my inner wound. If not, my marriage would have collapsed even before it started. You need to take the initiative to heal your wound. You need to let go of past hurt. Those baggage, that heavy baggage that you are carrying, you need to drop them. Because if you do not drop them, it is going to cost you your happiness in your marriage. Instead of your marriage to be a blessing to you, it is going to become a nightmare to you. Heal your inner child. Heal your wound. Work on making yourself a new person so that you can enjoy your union with your spouse. Another lesson that marriage has taught me is that respect is not optional, it is a must. Love can be optional in your marriage, but respect is not negotiable. If you and your spouse happen to fall out of love for a season, that marriage is going to survive. But if there is lack of respect in that marriage, I am telling you that marriage will be destroyed. I have seen people go into arranged marriages. Those people enter into a loveless marriage, and that marriage will succeed. That marriage will thrive. Because, like I said earlier, love alone is not enough to sustain a marriage. You see people that enter into a loveless marriage having a blissful union. What do you think? Respect is one of the key things that can hold a marriage. If you're always rolling your eyes, talking down on your husband in public, mocking him, if you're always making your husband feel small, these things are the things that chip away at a man's soul. And trust me, once respect is broken, there is no amount of love that can save that marriage. That marriage is as good as gone. I am not a feminist. Stop listening to all these feminists if you really want to enjoy your marriage. Respect a man. If you respect your spouse, he is going to respect you. That is why they say respect is reciprocal. When you respect a man, he will in turn give that same respect to you. I don't know why people don't talk about respect enough, especially to women, because this is a very crucial topic. A man can fight for a marriage where he feels respected. He will go to any length to fight to keep that marriage happy. But a man will never lift a finger to fight for a marriage where he knows he is emasculated. A marriage where his wife has no atom of respect for him. He will never fight to keep that marriage. I am not saying you have to agree with everything that your spouse does. I am not saying you have to bow and worship him. All I am saying is that you should respect him, especially in your tone of voice when you are angry, the way you talk to him, the way you speak to him when you are upset. You need to talk to your spouse with respect. Some women always complain, my husband does not respect me. My husband does not respect me. And the one question I always ask them is, do you respect your husband? Are you respectful towards your husband? Because there is no normal human being that you will give respect to and he will not reciprocate. There are very few men that will not respect their spouse. But I believe that if you give a man the respect that is due him, he is going to reciprocate. He will love you more because he knows that you have submitted yourself under his leadership. He will protect you. He will take care of you and treat you like the queen that you are. Another harsh lesson that marriage has taught me is that you have to be happy first. You have to create your own happiness. If you are not happy, you cannot make your family happy. You cannot be a happy mother to your children. You cannot be a happy wife to your husband. Sis, you have to listen to me carefully. Marriage is not a happiness generator. It is an amplifier. If you are not happy with yourself, if you feel empty, if you feel insecure, if you feel resentful, marriage will not be able to fill that void for you. It will only expose it. I used to think that if only my husband would do this for me, or if only he would behave like this other person, then I would truly be happy. But I quickly realized that my happiness is not tied to my husband or what he does. My happiness comes from within. It is my job, it is my responsibility to create the happiness that I crave. The day I decided to take full ownership of my joy, my purpose, my peace, that was the day everything changed in my life. Marriage has taught me many things and is still teaching me. But above all, it has taught me to know who I am. Marriage washed away the fantasy that I used to have and forced me to build something that is real. It made me softer where I needed to soften. It made me stronger where I needed to grow. And it made me wiser where I was naive. If you're in a marriage or dreaming of entering into marriage, do not run from these lessons. Lean into them. Let them transform you. The goal is not just to stay married. The goal is to become a woman who can thrive in love and still stand tall on her own 2 feet. That's pretty much all I have for you beautiful ladies today. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with another woman who needs to hear this. And tell me in the comments, what is one lesson that love has taught you? I love you and I'm rooting for your growth every step of the way. So I'll see you in my next video.